Today on Heat of the Drum, we're doing a hot and fast pork butt. Let's do this. Welcome back to Heat of the Drum. My name is Steve. So the first thing we need to do for this hot and fast pork butt is make a rub, and we're going sweet heat on this one. Let me show you what I got. This is really easy. All you're going to need is 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of chipotle chili pepper, 2 teaspoons salt, 2 teaspoons of pepper, and 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper. I have all that here, and I did add 1 teaspoon of regular white sugar. And what I have here, if I can get it open, is 2/3 a cup of dark brown sugar. And let's get that in there. And then we'll work on getting this all mixed up. And when you're done, it's going to look like that. So what I'm going to come in here and do is just get a couple tablespoons of this, and we'll reserve that for later. Just like that. And I'll set that off to the side. And then what I like to do is just get my rub down on this piece of parchment paper. And put it in a shaker bottle. Just like that. So I'll just set that off to the side. So what I got here is an 8.3 pound bone-in pork butt. And we're not going to do a whole lot to it. Might trim up a little fat. I got to look at it yet and see kind of how it's looking. It's not looking too bad really on this side. Get her flipped over. Look at this fat cap side. And see what we're dealing with here. Now you can approach this a couple different ways. You can score this fat cap. You can kind of shave it down a little bit and try to even it out a little bit. And that's normally what I do. I'm going to just kind of look at this. It's really not too bad. Maybe right there, that fat can come off. Just evening it out a little bit. Not going to get too crazy with it. And that looks pretty good to me. We're keeping it simple today, folks. So let's use a binder. Now you could use mustard, you could use Worcestershire sauce, you could use whatever you want for a binder. I'm just using a little bit of barbecue sauce today. I'm not going to use a whole lot. We're just going to get in here, just get something for the rub to stick to. Just like that. And let's get this rub on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually come up here and start on the side. I'm going to Pack it on there good. And we'll just kind of keep spinning this thing around and keep rubbing her up. Good there. Get her flipped over. Get a little barbecue sauce on this side. Nice and sticky. And whatever rub is left, I'll throw out because I know I contaminated the container here, so that's no big deal. So put as little or as much as you want on there. It's up to you. I like a lot of flavor. I'll put it in my hand and then just kind of tap her on there. And that is looking pretty good. This is going to hang out off to the side while we get that drum fired up. Kind of a cool fall day out here today. It feels really nice. A little windy, but that's all right. That wind's just going to take that smell of that pork butt over to the neighbor and drive them nuts. Today we're going to use some Cowboy Oak and Hickory Blend lump, along with a little Kingsford mixed in there. And then we're going to add into that some mesquite. That is my favorite part of the day, my friends. Get that chimney going. It's time. This thing's been sweating it out for the last 45 minutes, so I've been dialing that drum in. And look at the color. Let's get this thing on there. Right in the center, fat cap down. And actually, I'm going to turn that just a little bit, about like that. And get our lid on. All right, the pork butt's on. Let's talk drum smoker temp. We're looking at 300 degrees today. We're trying to go hot and fast. We're going to let this thing cruise along for 2 hours. At the 2 hour mark, we're going to get in there and get our first look at that. Probably do a little rotation action, get our thermometer in there and really start monitoring that temp. But 2 hours, we'll let it cruise along, and I'll see you then. 3, 2, 1. Just hit the 2 hour mark. Let's get the lid off and get our first look. It's definitely smelling good, so let's see what we got here. Nice. So the first thing I want to do is just get in here and rotate this thing. I'm going to come right in here. Now let's get the lid back on. and see where we're at. Looking pretty good at the 2-hour mark. We got our rotated, got our thermometer in there, and right now we are 96 degrees internal. So I'm going to let this thing just cruise along now, and I'm not going to look till we hit 165. At 165, we'll get in there and move on to the next step. Just hit that 5-hour mark. I know I want it 165 internal. We are 164. We're doing this. First thing I'm going to do is get in here, get that thermometer out of there. Look at that, guys. It's time to get this thing wrapped. Here we go. This thing looks amazing, and we ain't going to do much to it. Let me get it centered here a little bit on my foil. So we're going to come over this way. And this way. Get this back on the smoker. Get our pork butt back in here. And then I know when I come in right through here for my thermometer. Got it wrapped. It's looking really good. Smells phenomenal. We're going to let this thing just cruise along now. Once it hits 203, well, really, once it hits 200, I'm going to be kind of anxious to get in there and get a look. But 203, 205, right around that range is probably where we'll end up pulling it. I'll bring you back then. Just hit 7 hours, and we are 203 internal on that pork butt. Let's get the lid off. I'm going to get in here with that instant read and start probing around, seeing how tender it is. And I got a funny feeling this might be coming off, or at least we're going to be really close. Let's get a look. Let's see how tender this really is. Ooh, 207. Oh, yeah. Ooh, 208. Yeah, so we're a little hotter. Well, that's a little, oh, 203 right there. This is coming off. Oh, yeah. So what is next? Well, we're doing this hot and fast, right? Can't let this set for an hour or two. We're going to let it set for 30 minutes, and then we're going to get in here and see how this looks. So it looks like one of those last times I was probing with that instant read, I poked a hole in the bottom and lost a little juice, but that's all right. Let's get this open and see what we got. It smells so good. Oh, yeah. Look at this thing. Woo-wee. Oh, man, look at that. 7 hours in the smoker. Now I'm ready to get a piece of this. And as you can see, as that's kind of steamed through in that foil, we kind of lost some of our bark right there, but let's get this out. Look at that. Woo-wee. Nice and clean. Let me tell you, the flavor is going to be here. I'm just going to get in here and shred this thing like this. Oh, man. Look how juicy that is. And I'm just going to shred this apart. Any unwanted fat, I'll pull out. Like right there, that's just some fat. And the fat cap, I don't want that. Man. Woo-wee. Oh, man. Smells so good. Look at this. All right, so what I'm going to do, if you remember, early on, we reserved 2 tablespoons of that rub. So we're just going to come in here with that. And then we'll kind of just work this all in. Just like that. And I just poured all that juice into this fat separator. So we're going to get some of this back in here. That's all flavor. Now let's get us a bite of this. Nothing left to do now. I'll just get in here and give this thing a sample. And man, I'll tell you what. Oh, yeah. So now you might be asking yourself, was this really hot and fast? Is 7 hours hot and fast? Normally I do a pork butt in 11, 12 hours. Low and slow, 240, 250 right in there. Did this one right around 300 degrees. Took 7 hours. Do I think I can get faster? I think I can. But that's going to be a subject for a future video. This right here is going on some bread. I'm making sandwiches out of this. I'm definitely eating good tonight. Remember, you can do this too. Until I see you again the next time on Heat of the Drum. Oh, yeah.